The climate conference in Paris this December is an opportunity for Canada to commit to a new international agreement on climate change. What is your position on the level of commitment Canada should undertake?
I think Canada has to make a complete about-face turn, and certainly Mr. Mulcair has indicated that he plans to do that. In fact, he's promised that he would go himself to the meeting in Paris. I think Canada has a lot of rebuilding to do. We were one time a world-respected leader in climate change advancement and taking severe measures to deal with the problem, and now we win the fossil award every year for being the most reluctant and recalcitrant ones there. So I think that we need to focus our energies in rebuilding our reputation internationally, because this planet is for us, it's for all of us, and we have a duty as a rich country and a country with lots of natural resources to show the way on how we can manage our development sustainably, so that we set a good example for others to follow.
Some Libertarian members are skeptical of climate change, but in terms of international agreements, we believe in free trade and less regulations, no tariffs or quotas, and also we are non-interventionists. We do not believe in giving foreign aid as a government. So we should stay out of matters if they are related to getting too close with other countries. But if we're taking money and exchanging money from other countries, that will be accepted. Thanks.
Canada has to entirely reverse its direction at the UN climate talks. We are known as the laggards. We have now, after 5 years consecutively of being given the Colossal Fossil Award by the NGOs, we have now been granted the Lifetime Unachievement Award. And so we have to go in an entirely different direction, not only in setting an example, but in actually taking a leadership role. And Elizabeth may, some of you may have heard her say this on the TV news, feels that we can take a leadership role. We can actually push ahead. We have the expertise, we have the knowledge to do it, and certainly the Green Party has the commitment to do it. Although I am again very encouraged by hearing more and more talk, at least from the other parties, and I would very much hope that whoever is elected really takes a stand against the kind of attitude that we've had in the past and turns things around.
Thank you. Brian?
Thank you. If you're interested in my point of view with respect to climate change questions, I recommend you Google me silly. The present government is flowing from directions that were common with the so-called Reform Party and the Canadian Alliance, rather than with progressive conservative principles on this, as in many other things. And I would note that both Elizabeth May and Pixie worked with the progressive conservative government of Brian Mulroney in the 1980s and early 90s in trying to establish a more responsible environmental set of policies for Canada. At the Rio conference, the Mulroney government brought the U.S. government to a signed agreement. This present government instead is blocking the initiatives taken by the Obama government that's been there since 2008. Their argument that we have to follow the American example simply does not wash. They're not waiting for Godot. They're waiting for the return of the American right, the far right, and I don't think we have any reason to believe that will ever happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. And Judy?
Okay, and as Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau will attend the December 2015 United Nations Climate Change Conference in Paris and will invite all the premiers across Canada to join him. Within 90 days of the conference, a First Ministers meeting will be held to work together on a framework to combat climate change. And we believe that Harper's targets are inadequate and meaningless without a plan to achieve them. So as part of this whole program, We will provide targeted federal funding to help the provinces achieve that goal. And we will fulfill Canada's G20 commitment to phase out subsidies for the fossil fuel industry.
Thank you, Judy.